Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on this video I just want to go over some of the news on the streets, and those are articles that either I find pretty interesting or that I have been sent by you all, our community members. And I'm not going to necessarily go through all of the articles. It's just to make you aware of them. That way, if you would like to go ahead and revisit them, I will end up leaving the link to all of them in a pinned comment. Now, the first one that I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is how it is that I am pretty certain that there is only one system, one party, and that they're all in it together. And it's because of things like this. How is it, ladies and gentlemen, that we can have a system here in these United States of America where a person or persons, in this case, because this lady right here is not the only one, there are literally people serving in our Congress and our Senate that hate America. How can we have a person such as this, who literally hates America, be serving the American people, ladies and gentlemen? That's why I believe that we are a one-party system, because if we were at least a two-party system, we would have one side of the aisle doing everything that they could to try and expel this person from Congress. And I'm not only picking on this person, this was just easy pickings for me, but that happens on both sides of the aisle, where we have people that are supposedly serving the American people who we know are criminals, and they know are criminals, but they still serve. So when you sit down and you think that there's two parties or three parties or whatever it is that they're telling you today, remember that it is just the illusion of choice. Same thing with, like, let's talk about like with Russia, right? Russia is such the devil, isn't it? We hate Russia so much, i.e. what I mean by that is like the US government, right? That they put sanctions on them, etc., etc., etc. And we're all led to believe by the mainstream media that Russia's the devil. Okay, so let's say that we do believe, let's say that we all, the United States together, we all agree, let's say, all right? Hypothetical here, we all agree that Russia's the devil. Why in the world are we still importing Russian uranium? Why are they buying diesel from India and they know that India is getting the oil from Russia? If Russia is such the devil, shouldn't we just stop every kind of import that there is from Russia? If they're such the immoral devil, ladies and gentlemen. And that's where I get to. If Russia is such the devil, why are we still sharing a space station with them? That's what leads me to think that this is all orchestrated. This is all two parties or two sides working together against we, the people. And unfortunately, we, the people, have not yet realized, because we haven't suffered enough, who the real enemy is. And it's not you and it's not me. It's not we, ladies and gentlemen. We are not each other's enemies. It is those people that want to put us against each other. So wake up. And look at that. All of that ranting just from this one article, and we still have a whole bunch to go. I've been talking about this for such a long time, but we'll go ahead and bring it up just because this article popped up for me. Ticking time bomb. Food inflation is crushing millions of low-income Americans. Ladies and gentlemen, not only low-income Americans, but fixed-income Americans. If you did not see the video that I put up earlier today about Social Security and the COLA increase that they're going to be receiving this year, it is, in my opinion, very minimal in contrast to what inflation really is. And these are the people that are really going to suffer. Those people that are on fixed incomes and low incomes as well. Inflation will always outpace what it is that you are getting. So what do you do in order to protect yourself? Well, go back to that video and check it out. I talked about gold and silver, but I also talked about, hey, if you need to get a side hustle, get a side hustle. That way you can get your bank up just a little bit so that you can protect yourself for the future. Because what is this, ladies and gentlemen? This is actionable intel. What intel is that? That inflation has only one way to go, and that's only up. Meaning what? Meaning the dollars that you have in your savings account, unless you do something different with them, instead of just leaving them in your savings account, they are going to just falter away and burn up in what I like to call the inferno of inflation. And that is a fact. I highly encourage that you go watch that video that I put up earlier today, because I actually went over how it is that gold has protected those of you that bought gold when I started talking about gold back in 2018 or so. Let's get on to the next one, because I definitely don't want to go on another rant like I did for that first one. We could be looking at a war economy that nobody today has ever experienced before. Something as bad as the Great Depression, if not worse, ladies and gentlemen. And why is that? Let me just give you a couple of the things that I, a layman, can see coming down the road, unless we change the path of that road that we are taking, ladies and gentlemen. So let's say that this thing that's going on with Israel and what is it, Palestine and Iran, you know, all of those countries there that are you know, together there in the Middle East. Let's say that this escalates, and Iran, who is one of those nations that has a lot of oil under their ground and exports a lot of oil, let's say that they shut down the Straits of Hormuz. Now, I am not an expert at this, but I do believe that there is a lot of oil that exchanges hands that goes through the Strait of Hormuz, and it is controlled by Iran. And through their actions, they can shut that pathway down. What happens when that happens, ladies and gentlemen? You can see the price of oil just skyrocketing. Oil is turned into gasoline, ladies and gentlemen, but more importantly, it's turned into diesel. And diesel is the economy. Without diesel, there is no economy. There is no transportation of goods. So if we see something happen with the Strait of Hormuz where no oil can go through that, or maybe through some of the other oceanic routes that are used for oil transport, ladies and gentlemen, the price of everything, not just diesel, of everything will be going up in tandem with the price of diesel. So you need to get ready now. You need to protect yourselves now against what could happen, and hope to the good Lord that it never does. Because what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is this. We are looking at several years of hardship before things get better. And there is nothing that we can do about it. So you better get ready for it now while you still can. Yes, things are a lot more expensive today than they were 4 or 5 years ago. Let's go ahead and do what we need to do now in order to make sure that in the next 5, 10 years, we're going to be better off than we are now. Because it is possible, but not without you getting prepared. Biden says that the United States, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this, because it is being spoken on your behalf. If you live in the United States of America, this is being spoken on your behalf, ladies and gentlemen. The United States has an obligation to be involved in wars in Israel and the Ukraine. Did you know that we have an obligation to be involved in foreign wars? Is he being irresponsible by saying that, President Joe Biden? I'm not sure, because if people would think, well, how can we be involved in all these wars when we have so much debt? $33.5 trillion, I believe, in debt, 180 or so trillion dollars in unfunded liabilities, which are promises that the government has made to you, which has yet to pay out to you, i.e. Social Security. How can we do that? Well, it's okay. We can do it. Our Treasury Secretary, Miss Janet Yellen, she said, hey, we can definitely afford to be proxying 2 different wars in 2 different parts of the world. So Mr. and Mrs. America, just go back to work, continue to earn all that money that you're earning, and pay your taxes so that we can keep taking you to war, and your kids can pay for it. And by the way, their kids as well. I know I'm being a little sarcastic here, ladies and gentlemen, but what else can you do when this world is being led by nothing but warmongers and people that are thieves, that are literally stripping the people of the world of their labor and of their energy? That's exactly what's going on. And here, Canadian government threatens Costco and Walmart to artificially lower food prices to combat inflation. I remember talking about this a while back, and I remember doing a video that said something like, as soon as you hear the word price controls, go to the store, get everything that you need, and stock up as much as you can, because the price of things are about to get really, really high. And that is what this is, price controls, ladies and gentlemen. What do you care, AP? You don't live in Canada. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when things like this happen in other nations, we have to take a look at it and see what happens That way we can learn that it is not the right thing to do. And price controls is definitely not the right thing to do. But we'll have to see how this plays out, ladies and gentlemen, because price controls have never worked and they never will. In Israel, ladies and gentlemen, there's panic buying going on. Why? Because they see what's happened and they know that the shelves may not get replenished for a long time. So what is it that makes panic buying panic buying? What it is when people did not plan ahead. It's when people did not get prepared ahead of time. Let me ask you a question. If you are a preparedness-minded individual and you have everything you need to never have to leave your house, let's say for a month, right? Let's take it easy on you all. Let's say for 1 month, if you have everything you need to never have to leave your house, but you see panic buying going on at the grocery store, will you be participating in panic buying, or you'll be sitting back in your house watching it unfold on your TV or on your computer? More than likely, I would say that most people would probably be back home watching it unfold off their computer or their TV or whatever. Why? Because they already have the things that they need. It's those people that are not prepared, ladies and gentlemen, that go out there and panic buy. So if you never want to be in a position where you have to panic buy, just get prepared. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm not telling you to go out there right now and get a year's worth of food for your entire family in 1 day. No, do it slow and steady. Do it a little bit at a time. Now, if you're a millionaire and you have all of the money in the world, go ahead and use my link and make sure you use my code for 10% off and go ahead and stock up on Nutrient Survival. Why? Because of course I have to plug Nutrient Survival. They are the best freeze-dried food in the market, period. Not only do they last a very long time on the shelf, but they are the most nutrition dense, and the people behind the company are the best in the industry as far as I'm concerned. So go check them out. Give them a try if you've never tried them out. See if you like them. And then if you do, go ahead and stock up. Because ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, we will be needing our preps, just like the unfortunate people in Israel found out. And that's what preparedness is for. It's for those things that you cannot control, ladies and gentlemen. Don't find yourself in a place where you have to ask for help, especially if you have a family. Be one of those people that will be able to help instead of one of those that needs help. The governor of New York, what's her name, Hochul, supports suspending New York City's right to shelter mandate amid immigration crisis. What does this mean, what I just read to you? It means that they had some kind of a mandate in place that she wrote into law, more than likely by fiat, saying, hey, if we get some immigrants here, I don't care what their status is, we are going to find them housing no matter what. Now she's saying, well, we're going to have to suspend that because the 120,000 illegal immigrants that have flooded into New York City over the last 3 years, we can't handle them anymore. Well, why not? You've already kicked out all of the veterans that were staying in old folks' homes in order to turn those old folks' homes into places that illegal immigrants can stay. You still don't have room? Kick out some other people from their homes in order for you to have room. You still don't have room? You're starting to give less services to those people that actually pay taxes in New York City for the government to take care of them, which is the wrong idea. But anyways, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen, and you still don't have room. So now they're going to have to go back and rewrite whatever law it is or whatever edict it is that they put this in place to say, hey, we're not responsible for housing anyone. So if you come here, there's no guarantee. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, I have issues with this, that the U.S. is sending 2,000 sailors and Marines to go ahead and support another nation's borders when our borders themselves are being invaded and are as porous as they are. You have to take care of your house first before you can take care of anyone else's house. Because if not, then all the houses will fall. I'm no longer surprised, ladies and gentlemen, when I watch a YouTube video or a short where a young man or a young woman is explaining to whoever the host of that video is that they are Marxist and that they believe that the government should take over the means of production. This is why you need to prepare, ladies and gentlemen, not just with food and water, but arm yourselves as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, this is a Marxist act. When the government imposes itself on private businesses and tells them what they can and cannot do, not by law, but by edict. Biden administration orders banks not to reject illegal immigrants' loan applications. What in the world is happening? What in the world is it that makes any kind of an elected official think that they can break the law just because they're an elected official? Is it okay for a police officer to drive 80 miles an hour down a 35 just because they're a police officer? Same thing. So here we have the president of these United States of America, the president of the United States of America, two different things, telling private banks, all right, private institutions, how they are going to conduct business, and also telling them, hey, I don't care if these people broke the law to get here, you will service them, okay? You will service them. We live in opposite world, ladies and gentlemen. Even more proof of why you have to get prepared and stay prepared. You know, I've been saying this more and more often, and I will continue to say it because it's true and it's necessary. Get gold, get silver, but make sure that you start off with the most important metals that are required for freedom to reign, and that is brass and lead. Make sure that you get those metals as well. Make sure that you stock up on them plentifully, and make sure that you learn how to use and practice with those things that use those two metals. But Thomas Jefferson was 100%, 1,000% correct when he said that. Let me paraphrase it because I'm sure I'm not going to quote it, but when he said that the tree of liberty must be watered every so many generations with the blood of tyrants and the blood of patriots. Having said that, I hope that you're having a great day, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you very much for all of your support. I am very happy to be back, talking with you all and conversing and throwing my little rants every now and then. I think it's good for me. Have a great rest of your day. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.